Shalom. Ready? So we were up to the Gemara on Chafim and Aleph, a real packed Gemara. A lot of important Yesodis. The Gemara says, the Gemara will introduce, we spoke about the din of a loiva being pasal edus. That not only is the malva being pasal edus, we spoke about in Machlokes Rishonim, whether or not the edim and the sefer are pasal edus as well, but the loiva also becomes pasal edus. And we discussed in the past why is it a Rosh Hashanah? Why does it fit the criteria of being pasal edus? So that's what we discussed, the Marik, the Ram, and the Rashi. Fine. So now we're going to go weiter in the Gemara. So the Gemara says, Amar Rav, loiva beribis pasal edus. So the Gemara says, Va'anantanan milva beribis. So the Gemara says, but doesn't the Mishnah only say the malva? So the Gemara says, no, you misunderstood milva haba beribis, and we explained what that meant, the package deal, and that the loiva is totally in the malva, if you're the Marik, fine. And so it's including the loiva as well. So says the Gemara, there was a case. Barbaintis Aisidu Bitrei Sadi. There were two edim that were made against Barbaintis. Chad Omer Kamedidi Oisif Biribuse. If one aid said, in front of me, he lent Biribis. V'chad Omar, and the other one says, no. Lididi Oisfir Biribisa. He lent to me. Said the other aid, and pasle l'Rava leBarbaintis. So Rava actually pasled him, and he listened to the aidim. So frek the Gemara kasha. How is that possible? V'harava huda amar loive beribis pasal aidis. Rav is the one who just told us earlier that not only is the malva pasal edus, the loiv is pasal edus. So if you say lididi oisvan beribusa, so your edus by definition is invalid because you're pasaling yourself for edus. So the Gemara says, "V'avale Rasha, you're a Rasha. V'atayra Omer al tashes Rasha aid." So your dibur is not accepted. So Rava doesn't stem with Rava. So Emfret the Gemara. Rava l'tamei, the Omar Adam Karavitz l'Atzmo. Mamash a ganze shtikol Torah. Rava l'shitaso in three places. Rava is l'tamei. The Omar Rava had a klal. Adam Karavitz l'Atzmo ve'ein Adam meisim atzmo rasha. So before we get to the Gemara's answer, the Gemara had an answer. So we'll get to what the Gemara is answering. How about kasha? When he says lididi oisfin beribusa, okay? Did he take the ribis? Was the ribis paid yet? Or was the ribis not paid yet? So look at the Mordechai. By the way, the answer of the Gemara by say something we had. We have to chazer. We had on Daf Yudam and Aleph. Rava introduced a klal of what? Palginan Diburei. That we can split apart from his words, since Adam Karavetz al Atzmo, so therefore we can take part of what he's saying that the person lent beribis and not take the edus that it said that it was to me. So we split apart, literally, we split his words. Palginan Dibur. So that's what the Gemara says. So we don't accept the edus about himself. And what do? We accept the edus about the malva. And we pasal in the edim legabe and legabe the details that it was directed towards you. That we won't accept Adam Karavitz al and therefore we're not going to accept that. So the Gemara introduces the yesod of being Palginan Dibur, splitting within his words. Not to you, but he just lent beribis, and therefore your edus is acceptable. So look at the Mordechai in Simin Tov Reish Tzadi Gimel, okay, where he quotes our Gemara. So he quotes halfway down, Perish Barbaintis Asid Betrei Perish Rabbeini Avia Ezri. Everyone have it? Avia Ezri. Kegoin she'ein me'idim klal ala ribis, ela oizif beribusa, veloy shakol midi, dehashta lav noigeya be'edus hu klal. Says the Avia Ezri, the Mordechai quotes from the Avia Ezri, that we're talking about a case that the ribis was not collected. And he just stipulated and lent beribis. But if the ribis was collected, and this aid would say, Lididi oisvin beribusa, so then he's a noigeya, and the Gemara falls apart. And we can't accept his edus. And the Rivash argues with this Mordechai. And it's a machlokes, the Sma and the Shach had a paskin la'alacha. And they say, I don't understand. Why? Everybody say, the Gemara gave an eitzah. Palginan Diburei. The Gemara says, Rava says, the Gemara had a kasha, right? What was the Gemara's kasha? We can't accept your edus. According to your edus, you're a loiva beribis, and you're posel edus. Says the Gemara, no! Don't remember Rava? Rava from Daf Yud? Adam karvetz alatzmo. Ve'en adam esim atzmo rasha. Palginan Diburei. Except the fact that there was a halva beribis, that he lent beribis, but not to me. We split him with his words. We split with his words because we don't accept it by Adam karvetz alatzmo. We don't accept what he said. It's as if he said it by someone else. Who was he loiva? By Yenim. Not by me. Adam karvetz alatzmo. I can't speak about myself. So therefore, since I'm karv, I'm puzzle on that, so that doesn't have a shame edus, l'gabe me. So that's Palginan Diburei, right? So I don't understand. So the Mordechai quotes the Avi Ezri and it says, but if the ribis was collected, then what? There's a problem because you're a negeya. Why? Because a negeya is puzzle edus. But I'm also a puzzle edus l'gabe myself. So weiter say Palginan Diburei l'gabe negeya. The Rivash is right. The answer of the Gemara of Palginan Diburei should work also if the ribis was collected. Why is the Avi Ezri saying this Gemara is limited to what? To a scenario where what? The ribis wasn't collected. Oh, maybe not. So what are you suggesting? Well, what do you mean you're a Russia?
I'm saying if you're psul because you're a Russia because you actually collected on the ribis. Let's say
everyone's a Russia. That's Russia the Chamas. That's what passes.
You actually collected as opposed to not collecting. I mean, it's different, right?
The malva collected. We're asking l'gabe the loive.
Okay.
So why should it make a difference whether or not collected? He collected.
Yeah.
So you're puzzle edus from the fact you're a Russia from the fact that you were a loive.
Right.
So now what do we have to do? So the Gemara says we got to cut and paste over here, because we can't accept your full statement, your full edus. So I'm saying cut and paste l'gabe when the ribis is collected also. The Rivash is right. Why should the fact that the ribis is collected now tell me that I can't implement the Gemara solution of Palginan Diburei? If you're cutting and pasting anyways and he's puzzle anyways, so what's the difference? Why when the ribis is collected is it any different?
Is it how you understand Palginan Diburei, whether you actually split his words or just apply it in different ways?
Why? What do you want to say?
I'm not entirely sure, but
okay. But by side.
If you say that you can just take his full statement and apply it one way, then it doesn't matter.
You can't take his full statement. His full statement's possible. No matter how you slice the lamas of Palginan Diburei, some of the statements got to go. You cannot be talking about yourself. So now,
take yourself out of that statement.
Okay. So now take yourself out of that statement and get your ribis back. Get your ribis back.
Objectively, when does it become a Russia?
He becomes a Russia by the time the halva. Lova posel edus, yeah.
Not
When
he's
he violated an isser when he signed on the shtar.
Okay.
What's pshat with the Mordechai? So there's a beautiful lumdus of the Stipler here. It's mamish beautiful Torah. Stipler says, we spoke about something a few somethings ago. I don't even remember how long. Yeah, I don't think so long. It was in the third parak. Everybody say, we spoke about the psul of Negeya Be'edis. What's the din? if a noigeya be'edus, I have negiyas in a case, but I'm made l'choivasi, to my detriment. So it was a machlokes, the tumim and the shachet, and I think, and the levush, whether or not a person would be puzzled in such a situation. What's the shak levatari? What's the machlokes? Why is a noigeya puzzled? Is a noigeya puzzled because he's like a karov, he's an objective psul? You're a baldover, and a baldover can't be made about a case. Just like you can't be made about your sister, about your brother, you can't be made about your own stuff. You're a baldover over here, so you're a puzzle. If that's the case, so then I'm not going to differentiate whether it's the chovasi or whether it's l'schusi. I'm a baldover. I'm a baldover in any case that pertains to me. That's why I'm puzzle. So that's what half of the poskim say. That's what even l'chovasi he's going to be puzzle. However, there's another reason that many poskim say that a noigeya is puzzle. It's not because you're a baldover. It's because you have a chashash mishaker. When you have what to gain, then we're worried that you're going to lie. That's the reason you're puzzle. Im Kain says the Stipler, Gevaldik. He says, I have a kasha. Do I apply Palginan Dibura to a statement that was said to a what? Someone who's puzzle because he's a noigeya. If I look at noigeya as what? As a regular psul, that you don't have the ability to be made over here because why? You're a karav, adam karav eitzalatzmo. You're a karav in this case. So then what? So I can cut and paste, like you said. So just like I'm a karav for myself. So when there's a problem with half of the statement, so we'll take it out and we'll do palgin and dibur. What's the problem? That's what the Rivash says. So Vaiter say when Lagabe Noigeya, so he's going to have the solution of palgin and dibura. You have a psul, you have a baldover. So now say that it's not talking about the baldover. So maybe it's a palgin and dibura. What's the difference? But what? Says the Shach, if it's Noigeya is a psul of a chashash mishaker, why should Palgin and Diburei help us? But we're still scared that you're lying. So even after a Palgin and Diburei, you have what to gain. So now through the Palgin and Diburei, you're going to still have what to gain. So here the solution of Palgin and Diburei is not going to be misalik, the problem of a chash mishaker. You'll be mishaker and we'll just take part of that sheker. So Palgin and Diburei is not going to be a solution. So Memela says the Stipler, that's what the Mordechai meant. Palginan Dibur is only going to work in our Gemara if there was never ribbis taken. Because if there was ribbis taken, he wants to get his money back. So Memela, he's going to try to set up a situation that we're going to do a Palginan Dibura and he's going to benefit and he's going to gain. Palginan Dibura is not going to help us then. We still have our problem. Maybe the guy's lying. Only if it's a psul, like a regular psul edus, where Palgin and Dibur is a problem. If you're talking about yourself, or you're talking about a karov, then Palgin and Dibur, the solution can help you. But if the whole etzem adover is a chashash mishaker, so what's Palgin and Dibur going to help you? You're right, they're going to lie. Says Mamish says the Stipler. That's the machlokes, the tumim and the Mordechai and our Gemara, and the machlokes of Poskim, whether or not it would apply after the ribbis was collected. What is the psul nogeya? Is the psul nogeya a chashash mishaker? Or is the psul nogeya like a regular puzzle, a psul of baldover? Just while we're talking about Palgin and Dibura and the way Palgin and Dibura works. So if you remember, let's just chazer very quickly in honor of Rava. Just go back to Yudam and Aleph. So the Gemara on the bottom of Tesam and Beis and Yudam and Aleph. The first time we witnessed Palgin and Dibur. This is Chafei is the second time we witnessed Palgin and Dibur. The Gemara says Amar of Yosef. Bottom of Tesam and Beis. Amar of Yosef. Pliny Rava Onso. Person was boil another man la'oinsai against his will. Huva acham it start from lahargo. He can be made against him and kill him. But l'rtzono rasha huva Torah amro asashesh rasha aid. But if he says, no, Ploni was Ravani, Lertzoni, and I wanted him to, so then Rav Yosef says, no, you're Pasal Edis, we can't accept your Edis at all. So Rav is the one who introduces our Gemara, and Rav says, no, not so fast. Why? Even Lertzono, we could accept it. Why? Rava Amar Adam Karavetz al Atzmo ve'ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha. No, what he says about himself, we're not going to accept. Adam Karavetz al Atzmo. That's Pasal Eidus. You're a karav to yourself. So ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha, and therefore we can cut out the words L'Ritzono. We say Palginan Diburei, and therefore we can accept that Ploni was Rava, and we're not going to put in that word of L'Ritzono. So then the Gemara goes on to say Ploni Baal Ishti. Hu va'achar mitzarfen laharga. What about Ploni Baal Ishti? So hu va'achar mitzarfen laharga, v'lo laharga. My kamash b'lon de mefalginan Diburei. So what's the chiddush? That we say Palginan Diburei. So the Gemara says Hainu hach. In both cases, you're saying Palginan Diburei. Why do you need a second case? So the Gemara says Ma'u d'seima adam karav etzel atzmo amrinon etzel ishto lo amrinon kamash b'lon. So the Gemara has a havamina that maybe you would say you're a karav to yourself. You're not a karav to your wife. Kamash b'lon, you're a karav to your wife. Very difficult Gemara. Many of the Rishonim struggle. You're not a karav to your wife. Well, wife's one of my krovos. So how can you say you're not a karav to your wife? So Tosfos here discusses the shaila. What about achosa? What about shar krovim? Would you say Palginan Diburei? Pashtus, you would say Palginan Diburei by all krovim. Just like we're saying it by ishto at the end of the day, so too you're saying it by shar krovim. Anytime on Pasal Eidus, so we're gonna move around his words and we're gonna make it acceptable. Rabbi said there's a Ravid who had a different pshat in this entire sugya, moiridik pshat. The Ravid is the Mora de Shmaitza. He has the Bailus on the sugya of Palginan Diburei. It's quoted in the Rosh and Makis on Davov. The Ravid said we misunderstood the whole sugya. Tosfos presents it to us, and most of the Rishonim present to us that everything in Palginan Diburei is, like you said, is a cut and paste. Is that we have to try to take out words, and says the Ravid, you're not cutting and pasting. There's no delete button. There's no backspaces. No, there's nothing. No cutting and pasting. Says the Ravid, very simple. The Gemara meant what it said. The Gemara was specifically talking about atzma. A person, when he gives edus, doesn't have the ability to be made about himself. Edus is speaking about other people. About myself, it's never registering as edus. So it's not, says the Ravid, that what? That we have to delete part of what you said. It's Adam Karavetz al Atzmo. It never was registered into court by yourself. So Memela, it's not a delete button, but rather what you said about yourself was never registered. So that's the Gemara's Shaila. So what about Ishto? Is Ishto, it's a Sheva Brachas Torah. Is Ishto Mamish Kegufo? That now we could apply the Ravid Svara of what? That it's as if it's not registered. That it's Mamish like I'm talking about myself. Or no. Maybe Ishto, I'm related to her. We have a nice marriage, but it's not Mamish. Like a Baldover, like as if I'm speaking about myself. But Lamaisa, according to Shitas HaRavid, would you say Palginan Diburei by Achoso, by other Krovim? Absolutely not. There's no idea that we can now start splitting words. We could start pressing delete and cutting and paste. There was a unique halacha. You're a baldover, then you're not made about yourself because you're speaking about yourself. Made is edus ala chayrim. It's not about yourself. It never registered to begin with. And the only one that the Gemara cleared a shaila was what about ishto? But by shar krovim, you would never apply. Yeah.
So why does the Gemara say Adam Karavetz al Atzmo and not just say the Mason Atzmo Rasha? Like why do you need to talk about?
That's exactly what the Ravid's saying.
Why?
The reason why, according to the Ravid, what's pivotal here is Adam Karavetz al Atzmo. You don't have a shame aid.
No, it's just say Ein Adam Mason Atzmo Rasha. That's the thing.
But what makes that? What creates that? Because by edus, you don't have a shame aid on yourself. Because you're a baldover.
Why? So what does Karov have to do with the picture here?
In Hilchos Edus, it's not Karov in terms of Psulei Krovim. Yeah. He's learning the Gemara's Adam Karavetz al Atzmo as the baldover. You don't have the ability to speak about yourself in Edus, in Hilchos Edus. Yeah, that's what he says. It means that there's fakir. That's exactly what he's learning even in the Gemara. Adam karavetz al ishto didn't mean are you related to your wife. Of course you're related to your wife. Of course you're pasula edus l'gabe your wife. But do you have this shame kurva that you're mamish a baldover like we introduced by yourself? Does that extend to a wife itself? And
It's saying karo, but not in the classic sense. of
yeah,
karo.
exactly,
So
exactly.
That doesn't go along with him. That's difficult.
No, because the fact that the Gemara introduced it only legabe ishto was a riot to him that kurva here does not mean the classic kurva. You're right; it's a little misleading in terms of
Then why doesn't it say? I mean, if that's the way he's reading it, then why do you need Mason Matzah Russia?
why do you need Eina de Mesim Russia according to the Ravid? That's a good kash. If benkach u benkach you're a baldover, right?
Why isn't that the reason that you're a baldover?
It's not. It's more fundamental. It's nothing to do with rishus according to the Ravid. It's nothing to do with the fact that I did something wrong. It's the fact that I'm a baldover about myself. So Itai's asking. So then it has nothing to do with making yourself into a Russian. So why can't we read that as in our cases, memela, you don't. It's just a result. Ve'ena de mesim atzma Russia, and therefore, when you now are being made in this case, you don't have the ability to passel yourself. So therefore, we could accept your edus. Meaning, at the end of the day, you're a kosher aid. You're a kosher aid for this edus.
Yeah.
So even though a byproduct of your edus was that you're a Russia, it's not true, says Rava. Since Adam Karavetz Atzmo, so therefore that byproduct never happens. And you're still kosher edus, even la'achar, you're Agadas edus. No, the reason is really because of Adam Karavetz Atzmo.
That's explaining why Atzma doesn't
Yeah,
go first.
right. And that's therefore, even though you thought, like Rav Yosef says, Adam Mesim Atzmo Russia, right? What did Rav Yosef say? It's not a siba, right? Rav Yosef said, why is Rav Yosef throwing out your edus? Because Adam Mesim Atzmo Russia. So Rav is responding to Rav Yosef.
And so the question by Ishto would be whether Adam Mason Ishto Russia, whether she's Atzmo enough to make her Russia.
Right.
That's ultimately the question.
Right.
Is that considered to be Atzmo enough that you would be able to make her Russia?
No, the Gemara never says that there. You're not trying to make it. She's not giving edus.
No, but I thought the two were.
Here, Ploni Ravani Lertzoni, right?
Yeah.
So now there's implicitly a problem, right? I'm giving edus, and now I'm passing my edus because by my edus I'm making myself into a Russia.
Right.
Says Rava, no, you're carved to yourself, so Mamela, you never made yourself into a Russia.
Okay, no, Ishto.
So now Ishto, the shaila is, can I be made by my Ishto? It's not about making her into a Russia. It's just Adam Karavetz Ishto or not. The Gemara never says Ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Russia by the Ishto. Gemara is just saying Adam Karavetz Ishto or lo. Legabi his edus.
If Ishto Pagufo, then she is Mason Atzmo because she's him.
But if Mason Atzmo is the
Yeah. So the Gemara doesn't take it that far. Yeah.
I mean, if Mason
His
Atzmo
edus would be the Gemara is saying if it's Mesim Atzmo Russia like Rav Yosef,
yeah.
then what?
I mean, if that's the rationale as to why Atzmo isn't valid.
No, that's not the rationale. That's why Rav Yosef's throwing out the edus.
The whole.
He's Pasal edus. He's a Russia.
Okay.
So Rava says, no, he's not Pasal edus. He's not a Russia. Why? Adam Karvetz Latzmo. So how did he become a Russia? It's Gavaldik. You're Rav Yosef. You're trying to throw him out. Why? Because he became a Russia through his own edus. Says Rava, he didn't become a Russia through his own edus. Because he's a Karvetz Latzmo. Now, the Gemara Fret Takasha, and what if he's made about his wife? Is he a Karov to his wife? Legabet, could we say Palginan Diburei or not? Okay? So we had a lot more to speak about. It's not our sugya. The Gemara goes on. It's a whole machlekes legabe being made about a shore. What the maskanas Gemara would be according to the Ravid. But that, just in terms of a quick chazara, would be a fundamental debate in how to understand Palginan Diburei, if it's cutting and pasting or it's just never registering to begin with. I couldn't go weiter, Rabbi say, without introducing to you this tshuva the Nadi Yehuda. It's unbelievable tshuva. So we're not going to go through the whole tshuva because it's aricha shein kamo, and I'll explain to you why there's an aricha shein kamo. Siman Ayin Beis in Even Ezer. It's in this volume. It is over 20 pages of Chuvas, and I have the Kasha, and I have what's Nageya to our Sugya. So the story is a Mayr Dika Maisa. So Maisa Mechur Be'eshes Ish. So it was a very inappropriate story about a married woman. The Gemara, the Tshuva is that it's before Rosh Hashanah. Maisa Ira Shekoidim Rosh Hashanah Derech Kol Haaretz L'Isora Kol Echad Lashuv Mechatov. Everyone gets into the zone of Tshuva before Rosh Hashanah, says the Rebbe Yehuda. Ubo kamo anashim lefnei beis din beiru averus lisvados avoinam, and everyone came to confess about their averus. Ulakabo tshuva kasher yoru amorim miskufim utanisim, and to accept the tshuvas hamishkol and all the tanesim and all the sigufim. Lechol echad tshuvas mishkol avonos ubo kol echad b'fnei atzmo. Valpi vidur shalahem nisvadal abezdin, and something was found out to the bezdin through the confession. Maises nunim shel isha ploinis, a woman that was mezana, asher kvar zeh kama shonim yotza alea kala, the loy posik shezinsa, v'nisgaber akol kama zmanim. Ach shemishpachas ha'isha, so what happened? So a bunch of people came in that this woman was mezana many times. But, listen to this. Ach shemishpachas ha'isha, but the family of this woman, Va'avi Abal, and the father of the husband, which ultimately is, this marriage is Aymed al Perek, is what? Hema Takifim. They're some strong people in the community. Va'anshe Zroa. And they're strong. Ubekoicham nishtaka ozakol, and they hushed and silenced everything. Right? Ukeis, kerois habezdin. Shekama anoshim nilkedu bereshes isha zayna, Zu nisyatsu voidio belayles avi abal betuv tam v'das bedvarim rakim ki hu gavar olim balzroa gadol v'acher kama yomim ba avi abal adayonim ubikesh mehem sheishalchu belayla achrei abayli tshuva v'lishol osam b'cherim gomer v'chein asu adayonim techev belayla v'alpi acherim yigidu es asher yigidu kasher yizbar kan v'odia belayla la'avi abal v'techev gizim lahagilo mihema ha'edim. V'yatzu liyaser osam makas achzarias. Basically, he's taking care of putting into chayrim anyone who's trying to aser this couple. V'loyratzu legalas lo bikshu mimenu b'toivu mal lo yos zona bebeisa v'acher yitzias beis hakneses hoyshiv avi abalas hakol v'adayanim v'asa rash gadol b'kocha hagadol hutzuchu ha'idem lovel l'moshe v'akol v'adayanim v'techav gazer al harav v'hutzach lishol osam b'chayrim v'azi yidu b'yoy medusa. Below haya mi sheyifatze pel sheyishalchu achar abal va'isha sheyugbo ha'idus b'fneim. Every dayan is terrified to get involved in this case. Ki nafal pachad avi abal aleihem u'masha asu hu ba'atzu sheyagidu ha'idem eidusim l'fnei hakol zula ze gam ze loya be'efshar l'fol ve'idu ha'idem. So listen, second column. Echad hayid, one of the eidim was made. Visvada avono barabim, and his avera was known in public. Shehu atzmo zona ima isha, that he himself was mezana with the woman. Hazais. Koidim reish chodesh sivan ha'avar, seif chodesh ir, mamish to the day. V'asheni hayid, and the second aid, hayid eich sheisha zois nistera befanov, that he wasn't mezana with her, but she went into hiding in front of him. Im noyev ploini, with the following noyev, the following mezana with her. V'sho k'dei tuma, and they stayed in there enough time to aser. V'acher kachazru la'acheder u'motza ha'noyev koisher mechnasayim, and afterwards he went back into the room and he saw the noyev putting back on his pants. Shalo va'isha atzma gilsa eservasa b'fnei ha'eid, and she was also undressed in front of the aid, gam ata shachavimi, and she had the chutzpah. She said, "You also." Imagine what kind of woman this is. You also stay with me. The karav 11 imtza beiservasa adayin maletunov zara hanoya v'nimasa alav perish mimenu. Fine. So the story goes on and on and on. So this is the page before the tshuva starts with you see Aleph to Vav, with the 6 potential heterim. That the potential heterim. Oh, sorry. Go back to the shaila. Va'achar she'idu kanal, and after all this edus was collected, hayanira sha'avi abal rotzi legarish ha'isha azos mi beso, v'az sholchu adayanim la'isha lo'dia la'me'edim anal, v'sholchu she'yavo ha'edim elal ha'agid b'faneh, v'sholchu ha'bezdin la'asros la shetavu la'bezdin v'ya'idu ha'edim v'tegabal ha'edusim b'faneh, v'chein sholchu yoyser misholosh asros v'eskima b'daita shelo tiyeh etzel kabbalas ha'edus, Velabalo sholcha ki yore l'ragas es aviv u'mashaloy asu ba'atzmo lo asu adayanim davar. V'achar kach rinenu krove ha'isha. So what happened? The krovim of the woman got involved. Elu ha'edim, the edim that wanted to testify about this woman, against this woman, chashudim u'psulim la'edus. Their edus should not be accepted, and they're all pasul edus. Ve'yeshivu la'am dayanim she'im yesh la'am edim lifsol elu ha'edim az yavo lebezdin. So the dayanim said, okay, if you have ways to pasul the edim, so come. Ve'viu kama edim lo yadu dover lepaslam. And edim came, and they didn't know how to really possible. Shaloya b'dvarim mamish. There wasn't anything real b'divreim. So what happened? So once Biros Karove Aisha Kiein Marpala Machalosim, when they saw there's no help and there's no future to what they're saying, and the Edus is going to be accepted, Oz Nischakmu Visholchu Achrei Dayanim Mimkomos Acherim Vikiblu Edus. So what do? You go to another town, right? You smear them. Visholchu Achrei Dayanim Mimkomos Acherim Vikiblu Edus Lifsolas Ha'edim Anal, and the guys in the other town, they were makabel edus against these edim, shelo b'fnei edim, v'shelo b'fnei abal va'isha, v'haya, right? And then what happened? Fine. So that's the story. So you see, Sak the Noidi Yehuda, the first paragraph, Isha zu asura labala be'isser chomer ha'omer b'toyer v'tumah ksiv b'karayis. V'im isha le'igarshenu as eina ish menuka ma'avon, aser. Right? Noidi Yehuda doesn't care. V'hine, and now I'm going to go one by one with all the seifei ha'terim. V'hine seifei ha'terim isha azois l'fi koiser as akasenu hem shisha. There were 6 tamim to potentially be matir this woman to her husband. None of these heterim hold any water. So he goes into drisha v'chakira and whether or not the edus were made not together. Fine. So now he has the tshuva. He has the heter habeis. That's what we are. Heter hasheni. Kosav harashba b'tshuva. Simin elef reish lamed zayin. Listen to this. I don't have this written down. We're going to go to the heter hasheni. Let me just read you the small paragraph. Kosav harashba b'tshuva. Huva b'darkei Moshe. Listen to the Rashba writes in Tshuvas. Didafke heicha sha'amar ishtecha zinsa imi. Oz. What's the problem with that edus? Everybody say ishtecha zinsa imi. Russia, right? So what do you have to do? So Rav has a solution to that. What's her? Palginan Diburei. Listen to what the Rashba says. Only if you says ishtecha zinsa imi. Palginan Diburei. Aval kasha oimer ani zonisi im ishtecha lo palginan Diburei. Mishum kasha ata loikeach toives ani zonisi. When you what? The Rashba is saying. Clearly not like the Ravid. When you start cut and pasting, right? You start taking half of his statement out of his statement. What are you left with, says the Rashba? You're left with nothing. Mishum shekshata loikeach tevas ani zonisi loinisher be'enusar shum tam ayin shum she'erichu. V'hinei kan keven she'aid echad. So listen to what these guys were being matir. Since the aid that was now being made, that I was mezana with her, how did he present his aid? He says, ani zonisi imishtacha. Instead of ishtecha zanisa imi, so therefore we can't cut and paste. Motor, based on this Rashba. So says that's what the heter is. V'nekan kevin sha'ed echad heid shehu zana imeish lazois layamrina palginan Diburei. So comes along the Noidi Yehuda, and he's being soiser haheter hasheni, and it's unbelievable. He mamish takes on the Rashba. What's the page number by you? Pay back. So he attacks the whole thing. Listen, let's look at it because we're just running out of time. So then he says, Hine achreho diani Elohim, the second column. As kol zeh, harekvaro einenu she'ein la Rashba shum raya min hashas. The Rashba has no rayas from Shas. That's what he has an arichas about going through all the Gemaras. V'nishar chiluk zeh rak mitzad sichlo hayakar. He just came up with it in his own seichel. Shal Rashba shem sichiluk zeh. Akarchach ashiva yadi lidchais chiluk zeh. I'm going to argue with the Rashba. Rayas mochichas min hashas. Uposkim achrei mechilas kvodo arama ki toirahi v'lilmon ani tzarech ve'emes avav min hakol v'yesh lanu shlosha edim kenegda. So I'm going to prove to you why the Rashba is wrong. So Raya Achas, our Gemara. Zok the Neidiv Yehuda, Raya Achas min ma'damrina b'sanhedrin chafhei amid aleph. So again, what's our Gemara? Our Gemara is that the way we're passeling the malva beribis is that ledidi oisfin beribuse, right? So says the Gemara, Chad Amr ledidin oisfin beribuse, the maskinan asam de l'rava palginan dibura, and the Gemara says over there, l'rava palginan dibura. V'kvar lochzo raya zela Rashba atzmo b'tshuvai v'nidchak v'kasav. The Rashba dealt with this Gemara, and what did he say? V'ahu de ledidi oisif beribisa. That which the Gemara applies kalbinan dibura to our sugya, v'shavke mada amar lididi, and the Gemara cuts out what he says about that he lent to me, that I was the loivet. The oizif beribis, because saying the two words that are left off again, lididi oizve beribuse, right? Says the Rashba, the oizif beribis edus gmuri, afal pi shalei pirish lemi. Because that still has water, because he lent beribis, what? Without the words li, lididi, ad kalashona. So the Rashba say, right. Va'ani, well, you could say he was mizane beratzon, and you just don't have the woman. That is, it was my wife, or with me. Let's say Mishkav Zachar.
They were talking about, in that case, there's two ways he could have said it. I this, or she with
Right. That's what the Rashba is saying. When he says, I was Mizana with her, then it's all thrown out. Right. Whereas here, why?
Because if you say she with, and you're cutting out the who.
She with, he with.
No, you're saying she with, and you're cutting that part out because it's me. You have to cut that out.
No, again, when the Gemara starts off over there with the case of that was Mishkav Zachar. Ploni Ravani Lirtzoni. Right? So Rava says, forget Lirtzoni. Ploni Rava, and then we'll put in Acher. Ploni Rava. And you don't know who the other person is, but that's still an Edis.
That's enough.
Yeah.
You don't have to specify.
So that's the kasha. What would be the case by Ribis? The Rashba is assuming Ploni was Malva Beribis. Forget the Lididi, cut that out, and therefore it still fits in with the Rashba's Yisod. No. Just whether or not you can take his statement without being nogea to me, and that's still a valid statement. Just mamish the cut and paste, and we're analyzing the cut and paste. So listen to what the Noda says. Va'ani tama imloi pirish lemi, says the Noda, if you don't say that he lent ribis to me, ani tama. I don't understand the Rashba b'chlal. Maze edus lifso barbitas al yodo. Rabbi say why before we read the next words. Oizif beribus, Eitan lent beribis. Says the Rashba, I don't need to say that he lent beribis to me. Just say Eitan lent beribis and forget the lididi. What's the Noda B'Yehuda's kasha? What am I trying to, exactly, what am I trying to do in our Gemara, Rabbi Isai? I'm trying to ultimately give Eidus to what? To Pasal Barbaitus. If I'm trying to Pasal Barbaitus, it's crucial to know who he lent to. Was it a Yid? Or was it a Goy? You're allowed to lend Beribis with a Goy. Oisif Beribis, Eitan Oisif Beribis is not Eidus for what you're trying to prove. Says what the Rashba brought as a Raya from our Gemara that we just cut it away and then we'll be good. And therefore he's going to chap nafkaminas la'alach Rabbi Isai. They're using this Rashba to be matter and Eshes to his wife. And he's going to say from our Gemara that depending on the way it's said, whether or not it's a valid statement, that could now apply Palginan Diburei or not. Says Rabbi Yehuda pum fakert. You can't say like that from our Gemara. Mani Tama, Imlay Pirish Lami, Maze Edis Livsal, Barbaitis Al Yada, Shemel and Nachri Hilva Shana Nivsal, Umikol Shekain Lefi Anuscha Didon, Lididi Oisvan. And also there's another Gerson Argamar that says, Lididi Oisvan Shepirushu, Shal Oisvan Af Bilti Tavis Lididi Alatzmo, Vim Kain. And he says, I don't know how to translate these, but apparently the word Oisvan, according to the Rabbi Yehuda, also implies that it was to me. So if you're going to knock out all the personal words in this statement, Lididi Oisvan, what are you left with, Rabbi Isai? A maniac. He walks into Bez and he says Ribis. Ribis, he sounds like a frog. Ribis, what? Lididi Oisvan Ribusa. Those are all the words. Says Rabbi Yehuda, Oisvan also talks about that it's directed towards me. Shepirusha shal Oisvan av bilti tevis lididi al atzmo. It's talking about me. Vimkenim nivshach gam tevis Oisvan, but leidusa legamre. He's just saying Ribis. He doesn't have Eidus at all. So listen to what the Rabbi Yehuda says, Rabbi Isai. Elavadai she'ein zechiluk klal. The Rashba is wrong. Ubechol gavne palginon dibura. And in any case, no matter how you phrase the statement, no matter what your phraseology was, no matter what came first, what came second, that's not the way the lumdus of Palginan Dibura works. It's not what you put first and whether or not you're going to be mater and eshasish based on a word that you put. Unbelievable. Listen to what the Rashba is saying. Ve'ena kavona shanu mechalkim dvarov. Mamish like the title of the shir tonight. Pshat in Palginan Dibura is not like what the Rashba is saying, that you mamish split words. Ela kavona shanu mechalkin hayoytze me kavonos dvarov. Uma'aminin mashemeir al acherim ve'ein ma'aminin loy mashemeir al atzmo. But do we accept the whole statement? Of course we may accept the whole statement. We just say, you don't have ne'emonis for this, you don't have ne'emonis for this. But Chalil of Achas says the Nadi Yehuda, to build a heter and to now be mater and eshes ish, based on the choice of phraseology of the words, says the Nadi Yehuda, he thinks the Rashba missed the boat in how you implement and how you understand Palginan Dibura, and our Gemara is the best raya for this Yisai.